What if I told you that the real key to wisdom isn't found in more knowledge, but in letting go of what we think we already know? Not in speaking, but in listening. Not in being full, but in being empty. This is the story of a young man and a cup of tea that changed everything. Let me take you on a journey, quiet, simple, and unforgettable. Long ago, in a village wrapped between the folds of misty mountains, lived a young scholar named Arjun. He had read every book, studied every scripture, and debated with the best minds in the city. His room overflowed with scrolls, medals, and praise. He was celebrated, respected, even feared in arguments. But deep inside, he was restless. He felt something was missing. So one day, he traveled for days, through forests and rivers, seeking out a Zen master known for his peace and wisdom. "I want to learn from you," Arjun said, bowing. "I've studied everything. Now I seek the ultimate truth." The old master smiled gently. "Come in," he said. "Have some tea." They sat quietly on a wooden floor, the soft breeze dancing through open windows. The master brought a teapot and 2 small cups. Without a word, he began pouring tea into Arjun's cup. It filled, and soon it began to overflow. "Stop!" Arjun cried, confused. "It's full! Can't you see? No more can go in." The master paused, still smiling. "Exactly," he said. "You are like this cup, full of your own opinions, pride, and knowledge. How can I show you Zen unless you first empty your cup?" Arjun froze. He had come seeking truth, expecting profound words and secret teachings. Instead, he was told he was full of himself. He looked down at the puddle of tea. Steam still rise from the cup, but in that rising mist, he saw his reflection. A boy who had read much, but listened little. A man who had answers, but no real peace. He sat in silence, and for the first time in years, he felt small and strangely free. Arjun stayed in the village. He swept the floor of the temple. He cooked rice with the other students. He walked barefoot through gardens and forests. The master never gave him direct lessons, but each moment was a lesson. He learned from the way leaves fell, from the silence between raindrops, from the way the master bowed to even the smallest insect. Slowly, Arjun began to understand. Wisdom is not poured into a cup. It arises in the space where ego has stepped aside. One evening, Arjun helped the master serve tea to a traveler. This time, it was Arjun who held the teapot. As he poured, the traveler spoke non-stop about his philosophies, his beliefs, and his greatness. Arjun smiled quietly and kept pouring. The cup overflowed. The traveler stood up in shock. "What are you doing?" Arjun bowed gently and replied, "Perhaps it's time to empty your cup." The master smiled in the corner. In that moment, the student had become the lesson. In life, we often think we need to add more books, more facts, more opinions. But maybe the real wisdom comes when we subtract, when we listen without planning our reply, when we observe without judgment, when we admit, "I don't know," and that's okay, because only an empty cup can be filled. So, what can we learn from Arjun's journey? That true learning begins when we stop trying to impress others and start trying to understand. That peace is not found in proving ourselves, but in losing ourselves to something greater. And that every one of us is a cup, sometimes full, sometimes broken, but always capable of being emptied and refilled. Tonight, take a quiet moment for yourself. Ask, where is my cup overflowing with ego? Where can I make space to listen, learn, and grow? And if this story touched your heart, leave in the comments and share what you're ready to empty from your cup. Let's start a movement, not of more noise, but of more space. Because only when we are empty can we be truly filled. Share this with someone who's always right, but might just need a sip of humility.